Welcome to the first project in my fall woodcraft series. Okay, so the first of the three projects that I'm going to do today is a lantern. And it's a mini lantern, not a huge one. I like to put them on my mantle. I have several that I've made for Christmas. But this particular one I want to make for Thanksgiving or the fall season with the fall theme. So I used the Dollar Tree wood tumbling tower blocks. And you can see now they come with um, some that are just the plain and some that are stained already in brown. So I've separated the browns from the plain, and I'm going to use the browns for this project. So I'll set this aside. And oops, a little clumsy. Okay, so the first thing I do is I want to make the base. And the base I usually, let's see, I make it out of like 5 or 6, let me see, 6 blocks this way. And then I will put 2 going long ways on this side. Same again on this side. And because I want it to be more square, I'm going to add another line here. And so I'll glue all these together to make my base. And then I want to make a little bit of a, sort of like a tray, because I'm going to put a tea light candle in it. And I want to make sure the tea light candle doesn't slide around, it'll fit right perfectly inside that little tray. And I'll show you that when I get to that. So first I'm going to start gluing these. And I'm using the Tight Bond Premium wood glue. This dries pretty fast, and I really like this glue. You can use Gorilla, whatever brand that you like. Even the Dollar Tree has some good glue, wood glue. So just take them this way, and I'll usually do like 2 of them together. And don't worry about the glue seeping out. You can clean that up really easily. And this glue will dry pretty clear, so it doesn't, it's not going to come through, and you won't be able to see it or tell that it's glue. And you can always um, paint over that if you like. I usually have a paper towel nearby to wipe off any excess glue, and most of the time I'll wet it. That helps a lot. Okay, and then I'll start with my ends. And another good thing I love about this portrait paper is, um, it might stick a little bit if the glue is seeping out from underneath, but you'll be able to pull it up very easily, and it won't mess anything up. And this glue dries pretty fast, and it does wash off your fingers very well. So you don't have to worry about that. Okay, so once this dries up, I'm just going to glue them together and then I'll show you my base. Okay, so here's the base, and here's the top piece that I was talking about that will hold the tea light candle. And all I did here was I glued these pieces. I'll show you like so. And then I'll make another one that's like the same. And then you'll go and glue them this. Just making a little square. Okay. And then I just glued it to the base like this. And it'll fit my tea light right in the center. Okay. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do is make the legs for our lantern. And all I do is take two of them and put them together like this. You want to make sure that the ends are as even as possible. So when you stack them, they'll be straight. And some of these blocks, they're a little bit off. So you'll want to make sure you're matching two of them together that are straight on both ends. Some might be a little shorter than the other, so just don't use the shorter ones. And I'll just let those dry. I have one here that's already dry. Use this. So now at this point, you're going to go and dab a little glue. Spread it out just a little bit. Okay, and then you'll stack them end to end and glue them. Make sure they're straight. And give it a couple of minutes like this until you know the glue's getting a little bit more adhered to it. Then you can lay it down and glue another piece on. But once you do that, then you get this. So all three of them on top of each other. And then that makes one leg. So then you'll take some more and make 4 legs. So then I'm going to glue them to my bottom platform here. Like this. But before we do all that, we'll make the top. So the top is pretty much the same as the bottom. You're going to do the same 6 in a row, and the 2 on each. Well, you're going to do 4 on one end and 2 on the other to make your square. So you'll glue all those together for your top. Okay. And then I'm going to do like I did this platform here, except that I'm gluing them together flat instead of, on end. And like this. And then you're going to make 2 of these. And you're going to stack them on top of each other, gluing them the next platform the same way as the bottom. Now I would do, one at a time, glue it together, and then when it's, when you've got each little section done, stack it on top of this one and glue it all together. Okay. Then I will take 3 more and glue them in the end, side to sides like this, and put that on top of this, and then put this whole thing, glue the whole thing on top of your top platform, and that will give you this section. So now we can glue everything together, and I'll show you. Let's start with our bottom. Take out our candle. And then I'll start to glue the legs on. So in order to make it square, I don't want to do it all the way, in the corner. I want to bring it in a little bit, and I'm going to try to get a little bit on the edge here for the leg as well, so that it's got a little bit more of a foundation to glue. I mean, to stay more secure. So and I'll do that with each of these. Start by some glue on the bottom. A little bit of glue on this edge, just like this. Show you. And then I'll place the leg down, and you'll have to hold it, like this for a few minutes or a minute, just to make sure it adheres. Then I will do the next one. Just want to get a little bit of glue on this edge. And I'm just eyeballing it, making sure that they are the same distance away from this edge. And then I'll hold this one a little bit for a minute. Okay, and then I'll go on and do the same thing to all four legs. Okay, so the next step while my legs are drying is I'm going to paint these bamboo sticks. Now you can use a skewer. These are just basically the same thing, so it doesn't have a point, and they're not as um, I guess not as dense as a skewer. But I'm going to use these to, let me show you. I went to cross them in each opening like that. I don't know if you can see it. Um, so I want to measure them out first, and I'm going to mark it. Just going to mark it with my thumb, and then I'm going to cut them at the length that I need them. And they're very easy to cut. So I will cut 6 of them because I want to do 3 sides, and I'm going to leave the back side open so that I can easily put my tea light candle in and out. Let's see, I need a few more, and they come like this, and I got them from Amazon. And like I said, you can use a skewer. They work. I usually use a skewer actually, but I saw these and decided to try them. Let's see, I need 2, 4, 6. Okay. So I'm just gonna use one of these again to mark where I need to cut it. And they cut very easily. Okay, and then you can paint them whatever color you want to paint them, in contrast to your top. So I have a black paint marker, and I thought I'd try that instead of just using a brush and paint. I mean, you can use the brush and paint it with just plain paint if you want. I was just thinking it might be easier to use the marker, um, the black paint pen. Actually, I'm not sure. It might actually go faster if I just paint it. Yeah, I think I'm just going to paint it with the paintbrush. It'd probably be easier. So I'm just going to use a paper plate. Don't have much left of my black paint. So that's basically how I do. I just do as much of the top part as I can and let it dry, and then I'll go back and pick up where on the paint side because it's already dry and paint the other ends. Okay, now I'm going to put the top of the lantern. So we're going to glue it. So how I'm going to do this is I'm just going to put the glue on top of each of the posts, and then I'm going to carefully put the top and try to make it as even as possible. Okay, so that's how I'm going to do it. Okay, so you can see I've put a few of the skewers on the side. My top is not quite dry yet, but I just want to show you how I do that. I'm just sticking them and pushing them up against that bottom base and then towards, evenly in the back so that you put them on this base here. And I just use hot glue. On the ends. And then just sticking them in there. And I had to cut a little bit off the tip just to make sure it was long enough, short enough to fit in there. Let's see, got a little bit of glue drippings. Okay. And then the back is open, so all I have to do is turn on my tea light and slip it through the back into the little cup I made. And then there you go. And then you can decorate it with a little floral or flower or bow or however you want to do the top. And I'll do that and I'll stick it on my shelf and I'll show you what it looks like. All right, I just wanted to show you before that I'm just going to take my brush with my black paint and I'm going to do a little bit of distressing on the edges. And you can do this with any color you want. Um, I decided since my skewers are black, I'm just going to do it with the black. And it doesn't have to be perfect or anything. I just want to give a little bit of distressing so it's not plain brown. And I'm going to do this all the way around, and then I'll show you what it looks like.